Okay. Welcome, everyone. My name is Andrea Lewandowski. I am the Library Consultant for Small Business Development and Technology at the New Jersey State Library. And thank you for joining for today's webinar. I'll real quick let Larry and Torsten introduce themselves before I go over a few housekeeping items. So Larry, if you want to start.
Sure. So my name is Larry Banks, and I'm with the New Jersey Manufacturing Extension Program. I am the Workforce Development Specialist and Operations Specialist here. We are a nonprofit organization that works to support manufacturers throughout the entire state of New Jersey, and that's with government affairs, it's with training, upskilling, anything you can possibly imagine. So that's just a little bit brief intro about me. I'll leave it over to Torsten.
Okay, and it's really interesting. On the bottom of my picture, I see the name Larry Banks. Do you see that too?
Yes.
So I'm Larry Banks too, and officially my name is Torsten Schimanski. I'm the Director of Workforce Development and Apprenticeship for NJMEP, with NJMEP for around about 4 years. And yeah, my background is economics and continuing education. I've worked as a business trainer and coach for many, many years, mostly in sales and leadership development. I joined NJMEP about 4 years ago with the opportunity to bring apprenticeship to the manufacturing and supply chain industry.
Great, thank you. So I have a couple housekeeping slides. So let me bring that up. Okay. So you can use both the chat box and the Q&A box for any kinds of questions. As you know, when you are doing a Zoom webinar like this, it can kind of feel like you're just talking to yourself alone in a room. So that kind of discussion really helps to make it more interactive. And all of your comments and feedback are encouraged. This is your opportunity to ask questions and learn more. Yes, this is being recorded, and it will be shared on the New Jersey State Library's YouTube channel. So you can go there directly and find it in the playlist for lifelong learning. But I will also be sending out the link to anyone who registered, and the link will be shared on NJSL Direct and the Library Link NJ forums. We have a webinar, an evaluation form for the end of the webinar. So I'll share that link in the chat, and I will also email that out. The information is just to let us know what other kinds of information you're looking to get, if you have suggestions for other professional development, or if there's any questions that you might have lingering after the session. So before we get started with the actual content, I thought that I would give a little bit of context for today. And it was actually a very timely thing that I read yesterday. In the Washington Post. You may have seen this. This was the headline right across the homepage, that millions of jobs probably aren't coming back even after the pandemic ends, and that there is going to be a focus on retraining workers. So it kind of, in reading this, it made me think about this session and why it is important that we learn about these kinds of opportunities and why this is especially timely today. So the program that NJMEP is going to be sharing retrains, and it's for free. So this article talks about how the unemployed are seeing big shifts in what they are going to do after the pandemic ends. And we have a greater percentage that are looking at retraining opportunities because they're noticing that maybe their field is not going to come back. So if you experienced any kind of increase in job seekers coming into your libraries as a result of the Great Recession, their needs are not going to be the same as a result of the pandemic. We will be seeing more people who need to be looking at different careers, not going back to what they were doing. The article also points out that a huge issue is the lack of money to retrain. So in addition to needing new skills, because they've been unemployed, they are not able to pay for the retraining that is necessary. So we can really help our communities by being aware of opportunities like this that we're going to learn about today, and then sharing those, in addition to being knowledgeable about resume, cover letters, job applications, those skills that are vital. Knowing about the actual skills to get employed will really benefit our communities as we're looking at the economic recovery. So at the State Library, in my role, I am going to try to compile as I learn of these opportunities. If these kinds of sessions are beneficial, then I can try to schedule these. But I think part of it is just spreading the word. So if you hear of anything else that people need to know about retraining, and hopefully NJMEP, you'll let me know if there's other things that come out or that we should be aware of, because I think that sharing these retraining opportunities, especially when they are going to be supportive of people who are looking for work, will really benefit everybody if we can share this information. So all of that said, I am now going to turn it over to you guys. I'll stop sharing my screen and let you take it away.
Great. I'm going to share mine really quickly. Okay, and maybe we can start here. Okay, well, again, thank you guys for having us. This is actually one of our biggest initiatives and a really, really important thing that we're going to be presenting today. I want to take you guys through manufacturing and the different opportunities that exist within this field. As you guys work with everybody in your community and people are looking for employment, our program is a great way to get them introduced and get them upskilled into manufacturing so that they're able to continuously go and produce, have a steady career, have some, spending money and anything to cover the bills, especially in these times of needs that's happening right now. That being said, we've already introduced ourselves, but again, I'm Larry Banks. I'm the Operations and Business Development Specialist on our PEN team, which is our workforce development sector at NJMEP. Along with me as well, I do have our Director of Workforce Development, Torsten. And again, what this whole point of this is going to be to talk about manufacturing. And with that being said, what you see in front of you is the mindset of what people think manufacturing is today. People still are in the mindset that it's the old days, it's black and white, it's the loom mills, the hot sweat boxes, and that's not what manufacturing is anymore. We've now hit a point in time, as you've already seen with the technologies that exist today, how advanced manufacturing has become. This is what manufacturing looks like today in the state of New Jersey. It's now about coding, artificial intelligence, CNC machining. There's so many new initiatives being put out there and new technologies that exist, and that grows the opportunity for people to grow within manufacturing and in that sector. So about manufacturing in New Jersey. The one thing I can tell you about manufacturing right now is that they are open and they are looking for people to find and work inside these manufacturing operations and plants. People still need to eat. So food manufacturers are still producing food. You still have technology companies producing, and then even the goods still have to be shipped and gotten to places so they're able to, be able to sell the goods and actually get them to their direct clients or their people. The reason why we bring this up right now is, as we mentioned before with the article that was just displayed, manufacturers are facing a crisis at this moment in time. And in that time period right now, what's going on is there's a workforce shortage in manufacturing. So the top companies that you see listed in front of you on the PowerPoint presentation slide right here are companies that are these are your big major companies in the state of New Jersey. You have the Campbell Soup Company, you have BASF, Benjamin Moore for paints. All of these will exemplify and show you the different sectors and the different ways you can take manufacturing. You have food manufacturing, technology. We even have cologne producers here. If you like Oreos, we have Mondelez sitting here. But these are all of the different opportunities and the different ways to get involved. As you're getting involved in manufacturing, you're going to start to find your niche and you're going to start to find what interests you the most. And that's the beautiful part about this opportunity that we're going to explain, is that you have a countless amount of opportunities and employers looking for people to upskill, uptrain, retrain, or even introduce you into their workforce. So as I mentioned before, for years, manufacturers continue to have issues finding new and skilled candidates. So here at NJMEP in our Workforce Development Initiative, we are trying to reach out and find those who are looking for a new beginning, no matter where they are in their state of their career, whether they've been in a certain hospitality industry for 15 years and now they're looking to pivot. And as she mentioned before, there are certain jobs that's in our economy that may not come back, or they're poorly projected to come back. And this is our way of supplanting that and helping people get involved. The potential career opportunities in manufacturing, these are just some. The average salary in manufacturing today is about $90,000 a year. With that being said, these are just some of the type of ways to get that $90,000 a year salary and how to get involved in manufacturing. Manufacturers are always looking for machinists. They're looking for welders, manufacturing engineers. They're looking for CNC machine operators, tool and die setters. All of these opportunities are existing, but you have to start somewhere. that brings us to here. Here at NJMEP, we have our training opportunities that will enable us to give you the proper education and the baseline groundwork to get involved in manufacturing. We have 2 separate tracks. Our curriculum is provided to us by the MSSC, which stands for the Manufacturing Skills and Standards Council. And what they are is a federal organization that's based out of Washington, D.C., that helps manufacturers throughout the entire country with providing skilling and upskilling and training. What we have here, we have our certified logistics technician track and our certified production technician track. What the CLT, the certified logistics track is, it's more focused on logistics and supply chain. Meaning at the beginning of the pandemic, if you remember when everybody was going around trying to find toilet paper and pushing their grandma for it at the supermarket, that's all logistics. They have to create it and make the product. They have to make that toilet paper, and then it has to get from the factory to the stores. And then that's how all the things happen from there. If you look at how our COVID vaccine is being distributed right now, that's all an example of logistics and supply chain, and it's all happening in live action right here in the state of New Jersey. You have Johnson & Johnson, there's Pfizer, there's so many companies that are involved, and this is the track that if anybody's looking to get into that world, if you're trying to look into process and handling, if you're trying to look at mapping logistics, the CLT track would be perfect for you. On the other side, you have our certified production technician course. What this is more for your hands-on people, the ones that are going to be working in the manufacturing floor, the ones putting the products together, your CNC machinists, your welders. And as I mentioned before, because there's such a workforce shortage, both of these tracks can lead you into that entry-level position to build your career within manufacturing. And NJMEP is here to help anybody looking for that opportunity. And again, no matter where you are in your career, the opportunities that we have are abundant. About our courses here. So once you come, if you would decide to take the courses, what would happen is they're 100% online and they're 100% self-paced, meaning there's the flexibility for you to be able to come after that day of work, or if you have kids, you can sit there and take the time to finish the curriculum and finish the courses at your schedule at no charge whatsoever to you, no strings attached. We are COVID compliant as well, so it is 100% online, so you'll have the ability to take all the modules right from there. And then at the end of completing the modules, you will receive a nationally recognized certification. This certification of CLT or CPT, you can take, we would love for you to stay in New Jersey, of course. But if you wanted to go find a career in Idaho, California, that credential and that certification would be recognized by anybody that you would apply for a job for. And the best part about our program here is, again, after you do get that credential, or as you're getting that credential, we here at NJMEP would be able to help you find employment as you're taking the course and getting upskilled and you're getting that training. So as you're going through our program, whether it's CLT, CPT, whichever interest piques you, we would work with you and find an organization or a company that's within your neighborhood or within your area and work to place you at that position so that you're already ready to go and building those career and having those additional career opportunities. That's the biggest goal for us here as the workforce development team, is to be able to link employers and link people looking for work and link people, especially with the way COVID has really impacted our economy. We want to get people really involved, and this is the way to do it. We have 2 different career pathways, and this is just an example about how manufacturing is operating and how you would progress through your career. When we speak with high school students or even speak to anybody just entering the workforce, what we like to tell them is simply this. Once you're already out there, you're going to be able to start earning money and putting money in your pocket if you were to take the professional pathway route. That means you're going to start off at an entry-level position, maybe as a machine operator. And then as you work your way up through there, you'll be able to get those accreditations. You'll be able to get the trainings as you go and progress throughout your career. Where if you were to take the education pathway, you would start off by going to college, of course, going through the 4 years, getting your degree. And then after you get your degree, you would then enter the workforce having the credentials. By taking the professional pathway or any point where your career is, there's always the opportunity to upskill, retrain, and retool yourself, and you're still putting money in your pocket and you're getting the valuable experience by taking that professional pathway, which is what we really are pushing. So with that being said, that really sums up our program. It's an opportunity to get people involved, and we're looking for you, the ones who are involved in those communities, that's talking to these people who are looking for help with their resumes or trying to find job placement. We're looking to you to let them know that these opportunities do exist. And with 11,000 manufacturers that do exist throughout the entire state of New Jersey, the opportunities are really They're bountiful and they really are endless. If you have any interest, you have any track, any mindset, anything that you want to do as far as whether it's entertainment, whether it's developing baseball, but anything you could possibly have an interest in, manufacturing has a door and a pathway to you. And we are hoping to be that entryway for you to get to that. With that being said, I hope I didn't overspeak too much about what we are doing, but what I would like to do is say, if there's anybody who is looking for a position or career, please feel free to reach out to either myself or Torsten, because we are looking to get people involved, and manufacturers are consistently and always looking to get people involved.
Thank you so much. This is such interesting information, and I think really vital for us to be able to share with our communities. So I have a couple questions, and then if anybody else who's listening has questions, you can put it into the chat or the Q&A box as well. So do you do sessions like this, or have information sessions that librarians can refer their patrons to get more information for themselves?
Yep. So currently we're actually in the works of setting that up so that we'll always have that channel available and open for anybody to come in. For right now, what we will do is, if anybody has any questions or anybody wants to have a personal conversation about the training opportunities, if you reach out to myself, I'll be more than glad to sit there and talk through every single detail of our program. That way you have all the bells and whistles in front of you. You know what's talked about, you know what's going on, and you will have better assistance and a better guide into getting involved in manufacturing.
If I would like to add something to that. In addition, we have online information sessions that we are offering to one-stop career center clients. These sessions are online and they are taking place twice per month. And I believe, Andrea, I think I shared the overview with you, and I would love to do that with all of you online and the entire library system, that we are sharing these dates so that you have two options or two pathways. On the one hand side, you can refer directly to Larry, or you can direct to one of these info sessions with a very simple, easy Zoom login for these info sessions that are usually around about 30 to 45 minutes. And those that are interested usually send us their resume right away for a first review, and then they're getting really quickly onboarded into the program.
We did have a question, if you could put up your contact information again.
Sure.
Perfect. So in order to get into one of these programs, are there any basic skills that somebody should have?
Basic skills. So what this the whole purpose of this program is to get that upskilling, you get that training, you get that baseline. So whether you're coming with no skills, we're really looking for you to come in with an interest and a hard work ethic. That way, when you're already working in manufacturing, you're going through this credentialing process, it's more beneficial to you and you'll get more out of it. So if you are, again, no matter where you are in your career, if you're just starting off, if you have no experience in manufacturing whatsoever, the opportunities are there for you.
Okay.
And I would like to add something to that too.
Sure.
The requirements that are coming with the online program are more of a technical nature. So we need participants that have access to a computer and to Wi-Fi or the internet per se, ideally with some kind of a camera. You cannot go through the content or the entire curriculum that is 100% online, self-paced, with a tablet or with your cell phone. That's not going to work.
Great.
And then also to add on to that as well, and again, of course, with you guys being in the library system and you guys offering opening your doors and services to people in your community, that way, if you guys have any type of technology or any type of computers or Windows machines, you guys would be able to assist with that as well, which is another reason why we're glad to talk to you about this program and how we can help and how people can get involved.
And we have a question, how long are the training courses?
So we usually take about maybe 80 to 120 hours. And again, because it's self-paced, that time frame can vary based on who's taking the course. We've had people complete it in 80. We've also had some people complete it in 120. one of the things we provide in this course as well is there would be a resource there for you if you ever get stuck or you have any issues. So we will be able to help you along the way and along your path as you go through that. But the typical completion time, we say 100 hours to put it in the middle between 80 and 120.
Is there a cost associated with the actual accreditation, so the test, once the training is completed to get the certification?
There is, but not to you guys. It is, I mean, it's no strings attached. It's 100% no cost to anybody who's looking to get involved in the program. We want you to be able to come in and we want to make this as easy as possible. We want you to be able to take advantage of all the opportunities, but no strings attached whatsoever. We want you to get involved, put your best foot forward. And if you're looking to grow your career in manufacturing or even start your career in manufacturing, we want you to know that that door is constantly open. And
I believe that in our previous conversation, you mentioned it was CARES Act funding that's in part subsidizing this.
Yep.
Excellent. Yep. Yeah. And hopefully, one of the things that the article said was that there is no provision in the current stimulus package for retraining, but they're hoping that a future stimulus package will include more funding for retraining. So hopefully there will be more of this, not just from the current CARES Act.
Yep. And then another ensuring thing is that we're hearing from the Biden campaign and we're hearing from what's going on now, there is a major focus on apprenticeship programs and even manufacturing. So this is actually the hot time for us to be able to get our message out and be able to talk to these programs because there's so much support behind it that we are getting. Of course, with the budget and COVID really happening, we of course have to definitely wait for the information. But the fact that there's support and there's conversation happening daily in the New Jersey legislature all the way up to the federal level makes us feel really confident here at NJMEP that we can keep things thriving in the manufacturing industry.
And Andrea, if you allow me to add something to that, the core idea of this upskilling and education and workforce development program is to bring people into sustainable jobs. That's the ultimate goal. And this is what we are trying to help participants and graduates on this program with as well. With our outreach team, and we are trying to get them, our graduates and participants, in contact with the employers that we are having in New Jersey. I think we talked about it last time. There's a substantial number of employers in New Jersey, and I guess I'm not going to take that away from the other Larry to make that a little quiz for our participants today. But the point is we want to get people into jobs. So this could be an entry-level job on the one hand side, or an apprenticeship program, what is technically full-time employment as well. And this credential that we are talking about with MSSC for the certified production technician or the logistics technician is the spine and the core element of our apprenticeship program. So therefore, all the graduates from this program that are trying to find apprenticeship programs with our employers, they bring the core element with them already. So this is shortening the program. It makes it easier to onboard with a company. And that's eventually a plus. The moment you're getting the interview that you want and you're sitting in the interview you want and you try to find the connecting points.
And another question, is there a time frame in which to onboard for this training since it's CARES funding? So do you need to be in the program by a certain time?
So there is some urgency in the program from here. And as you mentioned, because it's in that funding, we want to get people onboarded as soon as possible throughout the entire way. We ask that the completion date usually be around late May to June. And then, of course, as we're working through this program, if there are certain scenarios or certain situations, we would work with you to make sure that that can still allow you to be a part of the course and get that introduction to manufacturing and take those core courses and get started.
Okay, so I don't see any other questions, but I'll give one more chance. And I'll ask one more question. Is there any advice that you have for libraries about how to better support either people in this program or things to think about for the future with getting people into these kinds of sustainable jobs?
So the one thing I can say, and again, this is why we're even doing this and why we're so glad to talk to you guys, spreading the message is really the biggest help to us. not many people know the opportunities that exist in manufacturing. We always hear from time to time that, manufacturing is dead and that it's left. I can tell you with 11,000 employers in this state. I gave it away, by the way, to that lottery we talked about, but either way, it's for a good reason. But 11,000 employers being in this state, that's where the opportunities lie. And a lot of people don't see that. And these opportunities can lead to great sustainable jobs that you can continuously grow in. And that's, I think, is the biggest help. So any advice I could say is the opportunities are there. There are ways to get it. And we're one of the avenues to get you that. And if you can spread that for us, I think that'd be the biggest help.
The very special thing about manufacturing and supply chain is that not only a lot of people believe that there are just 5 to 100 companies in New Jersey, but as Larry said, and this is no joke, there are 11,000 manufacturing companies in New Jersey. That's 11,000 employers in New Jersey, and this is why it is relevant to look into this kind of an education. It's probably a part of the image issue that manufacturing has, because first, people think manufacturing is dead on the one hand side, and on the other side, no one knows what's happening behind closed doors, because manufacturing companies are not in the downtown area. There is no shopping window. And we don't see on a day-to-day basis what's happening behind these doors and in these highly advanced companies, electronically technology advanced companies, with very demanding jobs, with very interesting jobs. So some of this technology that we call Industry 4.0, this is Toys R Us for adults. This is a really fun technology, and this is where these wages, as well as very amazing benefits, are coming from when it comes to these jobs. That would be the answer to the question. If you're bringing up manufacturing, you maybe will see some eyebrows raising, but at the same time, if you want to, the door is open. We are more than happy to report what manufacturing in New Jersey is, what manufacturing in New Jersey is in 2021. And where the real opportunity lies. And coming back to what I said at the beginning, if people really believe that there are just 5 companies in New Jersey doing manufacturing, no one is going to get into this industry, because it doesn't make sense to compete with many people for jobs in 5 different companies. But there are 11,000. We have 350,000 employees in manufacturing in total. So this is relevant. And there is a skills gap issue if we want to look into the future. We have baby boomers getting out of the industry. We have a skills gap issue to begin with, even for COVID. And believe it or not, it hasn't been better during the last 1.25 years. So the issue is very obvious, and it's on every employer's mind. This is the reason why I said earlier, this is relevant. It's relevant education. These are relevant jobs, and these are sustainable jobs with a sustainable income.
And we had another question come in. How can someone learn what would be the best certification program to take if they are just thinking about manufacturing?
So what we could do, one, you can ask us, we can actually talk through it and see what your interests are. I would say what gets you going are you more of a cerebral person? Are you more of a hands-on person? These are some of the things that you have to internalize and understand about yourself. Now, one of the things about this program, which is really exciting, is that you might think you're hands-on, but you might see something in logistics that you might really connect with. There's so many companies that have so many videos about how they run their programs, how their operation runs. You might be able to grasp something right then and there, and then that would be your leeway or your interest into manufacturing. But what would happen is that you're going through these modules and you're taking the course, and it's going to get you all that background information. You'll start to fit and start to feel where you think you can land in manufacturing, because again, with 11,000 companies and so many opportunities that exist, there's one there for you somewhere. You just have to be able to internalize it, see what it is, and go for it. And we would help you do that.
That's all the questions I see. So I want to thank you guys again for your time and for giving us this information. I see. Okay. I am going to put up the link to the evaluation into the chat. So if the attendees wouldn't mind filling that out, that information is so helpful for us to plan future programs. And as I said, this was recorded, so you will have the recording emailed to you that you can share with others or watch again. And thank you again, Torsten and Larry, for your time. And I hope that this is the start of future collaborations and getting the word out about more things. And let us know if there's anything that we can do to support manufacturing or the work that you're doing at NJMEP.
No, again, thank you for having us and giving us the opportunity to talk about this program. And we'd love to work with you guys in the future. And if there's anything you need from us, please feel free to give us a call.
Excellent.
Yeah, same from my side, Andrea. Thank you so much for setting this up. All the attendees are more than invited to get in touch with us. And to just offer you a simple solution, if you have someone who is interested, wants to learn more, we are just an email away. We are not going to answer within a minute all the time, but we always answer. So therefore, the door is wide open. We are trying to help individuals to get into jobs, into new careers. That's our mission. So let's do it together. And thank you again.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.